Alan and Alan's watchers on YouTube.
Yeah.
I am Tom Reesing. And I must say, Alan, this is the beautiful hotel. They just put up the new exhibit. Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Can they see the paintings?
Yeah, it's an art hotel. It's a fashion hotel, and it's a place for startups. I think you and I are kind of sort of neighbors somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. At Geekdom.
Yes. And where do you live?
I live in San Antonio, Texas.
So do I. And
That's
so
right.
we just happen to be here. And you are here for what company?
I'm here for Jive software.
And what does Jive do?
Jive is social business software, and the goal of Jive is to change the way that you do work today. And that's what we believe that our product does through a change, really, as Alan and I were talking about, it's really a change of culture too, right? There's a process to that.
And talk about the team in Israel.
Sure, yeah. So I've had an amazing week in Israel, not only at this wonderful hotel and seeing Israel, but visiting my coworkers in Or Yehuda at the Jive Israel office, and they're an amazing team of engineers that work mostly on our Microsoft-focused products, and they've been walking me through how they put the products together, how they test them, and their quality engineering process, and their plans for the future. And I'm going to, I'll be able to take that vision back to our customers in the United States and abroad, and to the sales engineering team.
Okay, you're an author of a book.
That's true. That's right.
And it's world famous.
It's world famous. It's a Microsoft Press title. It's called SharePoint 2013 Inside Out. It was just published this July, and I'm very proud of it. I have to say I had some very quality co-authors. I wrote a few chapters. I had a few friends in San Antonio contributed a couple chapters as well. But it was really, it's a very thick book, and it's a comprehensive reference to SharePoint for the advanced business user of SharePoint.
What was your experience in working here, really more from a cultural standpoint, working with engineers here versus the engineers you might work with in Palo Alto, or working with engineers in your other offices? Are there any cultural differences?
Sure. Well, it's interesting. You and I talked earlier at dinner earlier this week about how there are some similarities that kind of bring us together. So culturally, we're engineers, right? I'm an engineer by background. I've done .NET development in the past. So I talked to a .NET developer in Israel. I talked to one in London. I talked to one from Hyderabad, and there are some similarities that we can build on. But clearly, the startup culture of Israel is unique.
Okay.
And I've really enjoyed experiencing that. I can tell that the team here that came through acquisition to Jive from a startup in Israel has a bond and an attitude of working together to get to a goal, and they work very hard to create a quality product, and I really appreciate that.
So I realize it takes sometimes, a few days to process an experience, but you've been here for a week. What did you learn, or what was a surprise or a big takeaway as you're processing the last 5 days of working here?
I was really surprised that, even though I was prepared to be impressed by the level of talent at the Jive Israel office, I was really impressed by when I asked them hard questions. If they didn't know the right answer, they found the right person to get me the answer, and it was very efficient, right? They had other things to do, so they took time out of their day to answer my questions, and they were able to answer them all in a way that really satisfied my technical urge, but also my desire to know more about how we do business as well.
What's your advice for tech companies looking to either grow into or tap into Israel as a startup culture, technology center?
I've been learning so much about Israel, especially since the first time I heard I was coming here, and talking to you as well, and being here. And it's amazing. I think that technology companies that aren't here right now are really missing out. There is a unique startup culture here and a high-tech culture that is valuable to tap into, right? And you kind of have to land here somehow and get a good solid group of people that are very familiar with the culture. But if you can do that, I think you can really extend yourself into an amazing team of talent and culture that you can't get in the U.S. or some other places.
Okay, and how do people find you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Sure.
everywhere else?
So I always say my name is Resing. My mom always said it's like sing again, right? Resing, R-E-S-I-N-G. So that's my Twitter handle. That's my Facebook. That's my LinkedIn. It's all Resing. I'm at tomresing.com, and look for my book from Microsoft Press at your favorite bookseller on Amazon.com or anywhere else.
Thank you. This is Alan Weinkrantz signing off with Tom Resing with Jive Software at the Diaghilev Hotel in Tel Aviv.
Thank you.